you want to make money online, or if you're an existing agency owner, then this video is for you. My aim in this video is to save you the 3 years of heartache that I went through learning the lesson that I'm about to share with you in this video. Regardless of whether you are wanting to start making some money online or you're an existing agency owner, listen up, because this is really going to save you an awful lot of heartache, a lot of time, and I'm going to share with you the lesson that I learned that allowed me to go from banging my head against a brick wall for 3 years, not being able to get above 15K per month with my agency, all the way to getting from 0 to over 100K per month in just 6 short months. You see, the big problem, whether it's running an agency, starting an agency, is we are kind of indoctrinated by the industry to believe that what everybody else is doing is what we should be doing too. And especially when we're just starting out, we haven't got lots of experience to be able to understand and decipher what we should be doing to grow a business and start making money online. So what we do, and this is where the big trap is, what we do is we look at other people that are successful and emulate them. And there's this saying like, don't do what people tell you to do what they're doing, which is complete bullshit, basically. You shouldn't do what other people are doing because they're in a completely different situation to you. It took me so long to learn this, and I'll explain kind of how that materialized. I was looking on YouTube, I was going on Instagram, I was looking at all of these people that were making money online. They were running an agency and they were selling retainers for $3, $4, $5, $10, sometimes even $15,000 a month. And I was like, I want some of that. So I started my own agency and I started selling retainers to businesses. And it was tough. It was really difficult. What kept me going was all these people around me sounded like they were kind of succeeding. So I just needed to figure a few things out, and then I'll be able to break through and get to the 100K months that everybody else was talking about. And that breakthrough never really happened. I went 3 years in that journey, testing, tweaking, spending money on ads, sending out cold emails, cold DMs, all that stuff, and nothing really happened. And it was only when I made a switch was I able to accelerate my growth to 100K per month in 6 months, as I just mentioned. So the reason I'm creating this video is to prevent you from falling into the same trap that I did. I copied other people, and there's something that is fundamentally broken in the agency model. So as I say, whether you are an agency and you're struggling to grow, or whether you are wanting to make money online and you're considering starting an agency, listen up, because if you want to sell retainers require a huge level of trust between you and the client. Well, basically from the client's point of view to you. They need to have a lot of trust in you. And that's why so many agencies can only grow through referrals. With a referral, there's a high implied level of trust because somebody that prospect trusts is already using you. And so that trust is kind of conveyed and given to you through that referee. So that's why so many people struggle to grow outside of referrals. And it's because they're selling on a retainer model. If you sell on a retainer model, you need a lot of trust. And so it works. Does it work? Does it not work? It absolutely does work. Retainers do work, but they only work when there's high levels of trust. Now, pretty much every other marketing channel has a low level of trust. 95% of marketing agencies use some form of cold outreach to generate sales calls and clients. And cold outreach comes with a very low level of trust. And so when you've got somebody that you've attracted with a very low level of trust, and then you try and sell them something that requires a very high level of trust, you get stuck at 15K per month for 3 years like I did, because you're trying to do something, you're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, and it just doesn't work. Yes, we grew to 15K, we got there through like grit and determination. We did sign some clients through outreach, but nowhere near the volume that we should have. And the vast majority of our clients came through referrals. And it was only when I switched and made my offer in alignment with the level of trust of my potential clients and my prospects. And when I had no trust over here, and then I offered them a service that required no trust. And that's when the floodgates opened. So the reason I share this with you, as I say, if you're an agency owner, you're stuck, you're wanting to grow, but you kind of can't, or you're somebody that wants to quit their 9 to 5, get more freedom, and you're thinking about starting your own agency, basically don't start selling retainers because you need a high level of trust. The way to grow an agency is to match the level of trust that your potential clients have with the level of trust that they actually need in order to work with you. And the best way to do this, and this is exactly what I did, I'm speaking from my own experience, there might be better ways out there, but this is what worked for me, and it worked pretty well. As I say, I went from 0 to 100K per month in 6 months, actually 140K, but who's counting? What worked for me is I went from selling retainers to selling leads. Now, the big difference between the two is that a retainer basically is a big chunk of money up front, i.e. high level of trust. Leads is either a low level of investment upfront or no level of investment upfront. And so therefore, the level of trust that a prospect has with you when you do outreach is matched by the level of trust that the service or the offer actually requires. And when they are in alignment, that's when you can grow. And that's exactly what I did. I went from basically, as I say, struggling for 3 years straight, not really being able to break past 15K per month. We'd fluctuate down to like 7.5K, maybe up to 20K one month, but it sat around 15K. And then as soon as I stopped selling retainers and I started selling leads, you know the rest of the story. My business grew. And I was falling into the trap of watching these big influencers that can sell big retainers because they've got this big following and therefore they've got high levels of trust. And as me trying to emulate and copy them when it doesn't work. And I see it time and time again with students in our own community, other people that are trying to grow their agency and they just simply can't, or they can't grow it to the levels that they want or the levels that they thought they could when they first started their agency. And it's because you're trying to sell something that requires a level of trust that, put frankly, 99% of agency owners don't have because they haven't been around long enough, they haven't done enough stuff. So the lesson I'm trying to portray is sell something that is in alignment with the level of trust of the prospects that you are attracting. And 99% of people get all of their sales calls, their leads, everything through cold outreach, which is a very low level of trust. You need to match your service to that level of trust. Sound like a broken record, but it's so, so important that this is what you do. So when it comes to selling leads, you don't have to have loads of case studies. You don't have to have testimonials. You don't have to let every prospect speak to 3 of your existing clients. You don't have to give them crazy guarantees and promise them that you'll make them a millionaire in the next week. Otherwise you give them your kidney or whatever it is that these people are offering now. You don't have to do any of that because you're operating in a true win-win scenario. Now, the reason that people have to offer these crazy guarantees is because they're kind of bribing them. They're trying to persuade your clients or their potential clients to work with them. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a great deal where you've got to twist someone's arm to make them interested in working with you. When you offer leads on a pay per lead basis, not only do you make more money from the clients anyway, because there's no cap on how much you can earn, the client is happy because they're getting what they want out of the situation, i.e. more leads or sales calls or whatever it is that you're selling. And you get what you want out of the relationship because you're getting paid per lead. Clients are going to pay you way more over time because they're paying per lead versus if you were to try and get them on a retainer. So instead of trying to sell somebody into your services, you simply just put your offer in front of them. And because it is a true, genuine win-win situation, there's very little reason why a client would say no. And so then you go from this struggling agency owner that's trying to fit a square peg in a round hole to being inundated with interested prospects that want to work with you, because why wouldn't they? So if you're a struggling agency owner, if you want to start your own business and you think you maybe want to run an agency, do not sell retainers. It does work for some people, absolutely, but it does not work for the majority. Hope you got value from this video. If you have, consider liking, subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one.